All right, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Nigel back with another episode 3 of Talk to Me Talk Show, where we discuss various topics about our people, our youth, and our futures. Now, today I have two of my favorite teachers with me. We have Miss Strong and Miss Allen, and today we're just going to discuss a couple of tips about how to be successful virtually in the classroom, a couple tips for our parents and stuff out there, and a couple tips to motivate the students. So first, I'm going to let you all introduce yourselves. We're going to start with Miss Strong. Go ahead.
Hello, the kids call me Miss Strong. I am a first grade teacher in Greensboro, first year. Um, so yeah, I graduated from A&T and I went in lateral entry. So I knew nothing about teaching. My degree is in psychology.
Hello.
And Miss Allen.
Hello, I am Miss Allen, but everyone else calls me Kayla. I teach at Broughton High School in Raleigh, North Carolina. I am a special education instructional assistant, first year. I went to Broughton, so now I teach there, so that's kind of a funny story. I graduated from Fayetteville State last May. My degree is in interdisciplinary studies with a concentration in special ed, and I'm now getting my master's in special ed general curriculum. So, yeah.
Well, hey, congratulations to you too. It's great to see two strong sisters doing great things. That's most important to me. Uh, Me currently, as some may know, some may not know, currently work as a TA working with EC students back at my old elementary school, West Oxford Elementary, one of the best elementary schools in the world, in my opinion. Just saying, one of my biggest loves of Impact Home. And I enjoy, me starting out as a mentor. It's a lot being on the mentoring side versus the teaching side. So let's start with you, Miss Allen. So tell us like what motivated you and inspired you to start teaching.
Well, I come from a family of teachers. My mom's a teacher. And ever since I was in like fifth grade, I knew I wanted to teach because teachers always had like a strong impact on my life. So I knew
Mhm.
I wanted to be that person for a child. So I thought, why not teach? But I didn't know I was going to be teaching special education. I thought I was going to be teaching history. And then I got to 12th grade and figured out I wanted to teach special education. I love kids and I love helping them realize who they are and learning new things. So just found some way to do all that. Teaching is my calling.
Yeah. For me, I did not want to teach. Every year since high school, I've changed what I wanted to do. But my junior year of college, I really wanted to be a professor. Just because I like the educational realm. I just like to be in that space. Um, but my why for teaching really came from my family. I have like so many brothers and sisters, and my youngest brothers and sisters, they're twins and they're four. And then I thought about like they're in a different generation of kids, and their learning is so different from what how I learn things. Um, so I really wanted to make sure that the education that I got was also something that they got or better. I wanted to make sure that it was going to be better because and they needed people that look like us to be in the classroom with them, because that's how I learned. My favorite teachers, they really weren't even my core teacher. They were my ROTC teachers and my my college Miss Good. I can't remember what she was, but she wasn't a teacher though. But yeah, those were my super people in education, and I just wanted to be that for somebody, and I want somebody to be that for my brothers and sisters and my niece and my nephews.
So now, teaching from a virtual aspect versus being in class can be a little bit hard. Can be well to me personally, it can seem hard, seem difficult, but to others it can seem a little easy. So, what type of tips and techniques and things do you do teaching virtually that you find that works for you? I know one thing. For an example, with us, we use Zoom, so we have the blank boards and the blank spaces from the shared screen that we always use instead of using the whiteboard that's in the normal classroom. So, what type of tips and things do you all use? We'll start with you, Ms.
Uh, so we use Google Classroom. We don't use Zoom. So with Google Classroom, we have breakout rooms, in our calls so we can split the kids up so that when you're in the classroom, letting kids work with other kids alone without the teacher's help them build social skills. So letting them go off into the breakout rooms helps them continue to build those social skills from a distance. They still get to talk amongst themselves and figure out things by themselves without me hovering over them, I guess, for say. So I like that a lot. It's really helped them learn how to be leaders and take notes on their own without looking to me for a helping hand. So teaching them independent skills as well.
Yeah, for me, I have an honest, strong dislike for virtual learning because I don't even learn well virtually. And plus I have younger kids, so trying to do virtual learning with 6 and 7 year olds it just doesn't mix. But they are around so many more distractions when they're at home. So for people who are teaching younger kids, the tools that I found were like videos, and incentives. We use Class Dojo, so giving them points and making sure that it leads to something really helps keep their attention, because the attention span, it be gone. So really any type of incentive, a point system, some type of reward system to keep them going, videos, songs, and making sure that you're like honing in on all of their just their learning strategies, because it's really hard to do that virtually, but making sure they're writing, making sure that they're singing, making sure that they're seeing something. Or even if you are virtual, sometimes like I had to just drop something off at their house, like at the doorstep, so that they can still see work, for themselves, so that you're catering to their needs.
I know another thing, like you said about packets and stuff like that. Also, we do packet. They call packet pickup, where every week we'll create little packets and stuff like that for the students. Get the parents to come pick them up. So then, if they're not online or in the classroom, that's another thing that they're doing on the side. So that we find it pretty helpful, pretty useful. So another thing we talked about, learning virtually as a student. Even though you're a teacher, you're always a student. And I know with me being in grad school, Miss Allen being in grad school as well, it can be a little task. So what tips do you have for the students that are learning virtually and not in the classroom anymore? We'll start with you, Ms. Strong.
For students that are learning virtually, stay creative, because even though you aren't getting the same attention as you would in the classroom, you have to stay creative, within yourself to really, pay attention to the work in some way, somehow make it work for you. That's really for older kids. For younger kids, I guess the parents have to just stay creative, making sure that their kid is learning, make just a good learning space and learning environment for your child to pay attention, to be attentive, to be able to hear and to listen. Don't just, have them in the living room with the TV on and you cooking and everything else, because then they're not paying attention. They're not getting anything from it, and as hard as it is already, they deserve a space where they can really pay attention and learn, and you can make sure that something is resonating with them at the end of the day.
I would say just be patient. Like patience has been my word for virtual learning, because it is very difficult. You just have to be patient. Like as a student as a grad student, I just have to sit and think and just breathe and just take everything in and take your time and just be patient with it and know that it's not going to last forever and you'll be done within this semester or this many 8 weeks, and just know that it will come to an end. Just keep trying your hardest. And then for my high school kids, I always tell them every day, it's one of my morning rules. You have to be patient with yourself. Do not get frustrated with me with this virtual learning. Do not get frustrated with yourself. Just ask questions. It will be okay. Just have patience and wait it out, and, be strong and just push yourself.
Okay. So all right, so we're talking about like tips and things for the parents. Ms. Allen, what tips do you have as far as tips for parents when working with their kids?
The parents have to have patience too, because I see with my high schoolers, like they're older, but the parents with my high schoolers probably the same thing like the parents do with kindergartners. They walk back and forth through the cameras and stuff. They just need to be respectful, like Miss Strong said, to the learning space that their child is in. some parents are used to their kids being gone for these 8 hours. So now these kids are home. It's hard on them. So parents need to be patient and be respectful to their learning. Because when they send them to school, they expect them to learn. So now that they're home, you need to have those same expectations. And now we need your help, because we always need parents' help to teach kids. Students need their parents' help to be successful. So now it's just harder and it's a lot more. But we just need the parents to stay focused too, have patience with the teachers, have patience with your child, and respect the fact that now they're learning from home and we're all trying our best.
We are indeed. And you got anything else to add on to that too?
I would really say use every moment as a teaching moment. For the simple fact that, like I said, they aren't getting the same to the same degree of academics or education as they were in person when you are virtual. But for parents, I feel like parents have to be the reinforcers. And, like Ms. Allen was saying, you have to respect your child's space as well, but you also need to work with them within those spaces too. So if I'm going to teach your child something, maybe you need to ask me what is our learning target for this week? And you need to tie that into their actual experiences so that they can then, so it'll resonate with them a little bit more, for younger kids anyways, because who better to connect experiences and education than parents, because you know what your child goes through on a day-to-day. So who better? Because I can do it in class, but I don't know if it's going to stick, because they might not even know what I'm talking about, but you know your child. So if we're learning 2 + 2, then if you know your child got 2 Nikes, then you need to put them together and make it work, or something. Like, do something, make it work, connect those experiences and that education.
All right, so like I said, we're gonna keep this episode short. So the last question I have for you all, so to the young person that's in high school or elementary school, middle school, I met 6-year-olds, 5-year-olds who say they want to be teachers, lawyers, and doctors, and it's amazing now to really hear some of these answers. So what advice or motivation tips do you have for them that want to come into the education field? Miss Al, let's start with you.
Trying to give advice to someone about being a teacher is hard, because when I told people I wanted to be a teacher, they told me not to, but I still did it. But if your heart tells you to teach, then follow your heart. My number one thing I tell people that tell me they want to be a teacher, you don't become a teacher for the paycheck. You become a teacher because it's what you want to do. Nobody teaches for the money. I promise.
I promise.
I promise. And you can hold me to that. You can quote me on this. No one teaches for the paycheck. You teach because your heart tells you to teach. I literally love teaching kids. So if you know you want to be a teacher, I say follow your dream, stay consistent, make sure you create good habits for yourself while you're in school, because then once you try to teach someone else these good habits, it's kind of hard to teach someone else to take notes when you didn't take notes in school. You have to create healthy habits that you can also take in to show other people. And just know that it's going to be okay in the end, and that this virtual learning stuff will not last. Do not let this virtual learning take away our future teachers. Do not, because when I thought I wanted to be a teacher, we were not virtual learning. I started teaching and was like, you want me to do what? With a computer? You want me to go where? What? And I was so confused. But just push through. It's not going to last always. Struggle don't last always. It will be okay. Come in, be a teacher, and be the change. Be better than the teachers we have today, and be better than all your bad teachers you had, because they're not all good.
That's good. My tip for future educators is don't be fake, because the kids will read you.
I've heard that before. I've heard that even as
they will read you, even the little ones, they're gonna read you. Because and also don't try to be the teacher that your administration wants you to be. Just be you as a person. Like, I know that I am not the most animated person. Like, I'm probably the least animated teacher in my building, because I'm just like, no, I'm not about to sit here and yell with y'all. I'm not doing that. But I'm really good at celebrating. Like, I love to celebrate other people, but I do it in my own way. So I feel like teaching is like it's something that builds over time. You're not going to just go in and be the best teacher. I just learned last week how to be my best my best self in education, really, because I've been going by the book. I've been trying to do what everybody else has told me to do, but none of that stuff works for me. It's just like, some things is just not your ministry, and that's not to say that teaching is not your ministry, but the way in which you approach education might not be it for you. So go in being yourself. If you're like me and yourself is just laid back, you're cool, you calm, you collected. That's exactly what I'm going to be in the classroom. Cool, calm, and collected. I'm not about to yell with y'all, but we can celebrate. We can, we can figure it out together. But
so funny.
just be your best self. Don't try to be the textbook teacher that everybody else wants you to be, that the district is trying to say is a requirement, because it's not.
Not. That's funny because I'm the complete opposite. I'm very animated and I'm very outgoing. And
Wish I could be.
I teach high schoolers. So me going in there teaching high schoolers, I'm like, I went here, like I know this school like the back of my hand. Let me go in this classroom and be this, like I literally act like how I acted when I was a student. And I'm the youngest person in my department. So everyone's just like, Kayla, you over here doing toe touches. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Like, what y'all doing? Like, this is boring.
And that's another, I'm the youngest person in my building too. But I'm a super like observer. Like I have to sit back and watch first, especially because like I teach in Greensboro and I didn't grow up here. I don't know nothing about it, for the most part, except for A&T. So when I went into it, I was like, let me just sit back, figure out what my place is here, how everybody else moves, and then I can go in and be my best self. And another tip for the last thing is learn your kids first, because that's going to show you what kind of teacher you need to be, or how you need to play on your strengths, because you can be going by the textbook and your kids aren't there. They aren't getting it because you didn't take any time to figure out what kind of learner they are, what kind of people they have, what kind of environment they're in, and how you can best support them there, right. Where they are, how you can meet them where they are.
Right, yeah. But well, when I graduated and I knew I wanted to teach, one of my professors told me that all kids can learn, but no two kids learn the same. And that is so true. That is so true. You have to learn each child individually because everybody is different. That's it.
Yeah, definitely. In the same class.
Well, on behalf of the parents, on behalf of all the school administration, I appreciate you all. We appreciate you all for everything that you all do, coming in, really taking that big step. Because like you said, it's not about the paycheck. That's not why we're here. We're here for the students. We wake up every morning just to make a change and make a difference and shine a new light. And like I said, thank you. Because without you all, without the people who came before you, leading up until now, there wouldn't be a future of new children who can do what you do. So we thank you and we appreciate it. Also, while you guys have some free time, be sure to go check out Kicking It with Kayla. Now it's out on YouTube and Instagram. Go ahead and shout yourself off.
Kicking It with Kayla, it's Kicking It _Kayla on Instagram and just Kicking It with Kayla on YouTube. My first episode was uploaded today. Come kick it with me.
Hey, we kicking it. We're out of here, y'all. Episode 3. Stop,
Yeah.